the end of the day, I think he was not fleeing a crime scene. I think he believed that he was fleeing for his life.
I was a victim of a shooting that night in the club, December 27th, 1999, shot in the face by Sean Puffy Combs. I was an innocent bystander.
It's no secret that Jennifer Lopez and Sean Diddy Combs were one of the most talked about celebrity couples of the late 1990s and early 2000s. Their whirlwind romance captivated the public, with paparazzi following their every move and the media painting them as the ultimate power couple of the hip-hop and pop worlds. But as glamorous as their relationship seemed on the surface, it was anything but smooth behind the scenes. Now, with allegations and rumors swirling around Diddy's past, people are taking a closer look at Jennifer Lopez's connection to him and wondering whether her involvement was deeper than anyone ever suspected.
This is an exclusive conversation. That point really stuck out. I never heard you say it.
Yeah.
That you were the fall guy.
Well, that's the interesting thing. I believe that, the power of Diddy, the entertainer, the person that dominated pop culture, was so loud for so long that no one heard myself and my mom and my supporters.
So, Jennifer Lopez first met Diddy in 1999, a year that would prove to be transformative and controversial for both of them. At the time, Lopez was just beginning her rise to superstardom. She had recently released her debut album, On the Six, which launched her music career with hits like If You Had My Love. Meanwhile, Diddy, then known as Puff Daddy, was already a household name. He was one of the most influential figures in the music industry, with his label Bad Boy Records dominating the charts. When they got together, it seemed like a match made in pop culture heaven. But their relationship quickly became overshadowed by scandal and drama.
The defendants are charged with criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree and third degrees for the possession of loaded 9mm guns.
One of the most infamous incidents tied to their relationship was the 1999 nightclub shooting in New York City. The details of that night have been dissected for years, but recent revelations have cast a new light on what really happened. According to multiple sources, Diddy, Lopez, and their entourage were partying at Club New York when an altercation broke out. Witnesses claimed that someone in Diddy's group fired a weapon, causing chaos and injuring bystanders. Diddy, Lopez, and rapper Shine were later arrested after fleeing the scene. What followed was a media circus that would forever alter the trajectory of everyone involved.
The charges against me are 100% false, and hopefully due to time, we'll start to see that. Thank you very much.
While Lopez was ultimately cleared of any wrongdoing, questions about her role in the incident have lingered. Some reports suggest that she may have unknowingly or knowingly helped Diddy cover up what happened that night. One of the most shocking claims to emerge is that Lopez allegedly carried the weapon into the club on Diddy's behalf. At the time, Lopez maintained her innocence and the charges against her were dropped. But in hindsight, her quick release from custody and subsequent silence about the ordeal have raised eyebrows. Could she have been protecting herself, or was she protecting Diddy?
And whatever else happened, everything broke out and some shooting occurred.
Shine, who was convicted and served nearly a decade in prison for his involvement in the shooting, has since come forward with explosive allegations about that night. In his recent Hulu documentary, The Honorable Shine, he accused Diddy of orchestrating a plan to shift the blame onto him, effectively making him the scapegoat. He also suggested that Diddy manipulated witnesses and even Shine's own legal team to ensure his acquittal. According to Shine, Diddy's legal strategy involved calling witnesses who would testify against him while clearing Diddy of any responsibility. What's even more startling is Shine's claim that Jennifer Lopez played a role in this scheme, whether directly or indirectly.
Back with Moses Shine Barrow, who served nearly 9 years in prison, stemming from that infamous nightclub shooting that changed his life forever. His co-defendant, Sean Combs, was acquitted.
One of the most damning pieces of evidence comes from Natanya Rubin, a victim injured during the shooting. Rubin has consistently maintained that Diddy was the one who fired the weapon that night. She even testified in court, stating that she saw him with the weapon in his hand. Despite her testimony, Diddy was acquitted, leaving many to wonder how much influence he had over the trial's outcome. Rubin has also alleged that Lopez lied under oath to protect Diddy, denying that he possessed a weapon and failing to mention any involvement in bringing it into the club. If these claims are true, it would mean that Lopez not only witnessed the event of that night, but also actively participated in covering them up.
I watched them, bow, bow, both of them fired, and the muzzle flash was like, psh, psh. Shine's muzzle flash was a little higher. He was on the side closest to the bar.
It's worth noting that Lopez's relationship with Diddy didn't just affect her personal life, it also had a significant impact on her career. At the time, Diddy was one of the most powerful figures in the entertainment industry, and being associated with him undoubtedly helped Lopez gain visibility and credibility in the music world. Some have speculated that Lopez may have felt pressured to stay loyal to Diddy, even when it meant compromising her own values. After all, her career was still in its early stages, and Diddy's influence could have made or broken her rise to fame.
I got hit right here, in my nose, in between my eyes, which means I'm facing directly at you. Just like I'm looking at you and I can tell you got on black shades.
But the nightclub incident wasn't the only controversy tied to their relationship. Over the years, more stories have emerged about Diddy's alleged behavior during their time together. Lopez herself has hinted at the difficulties she faced, describing their relationship as stormy and emotionally draining. In one interview, she admitted that she had been manhandled in past relationships, a statement many believe was directed at Diddy. While she stopped short of accusing him of outright abuse, her choice of words suggests that their relationship may have been more toxic than she initially let on. One of the most telling moments came in 2001, shortly after Lopez and Diddy ended their relationship. In an interview with Vibe magazine, Diddy reflected on their breakup, admitting that he had used their relationship to make his ex-girlfriend, Kim Porter, jealous. He described Lopez as a perfect match, but his actions during their time together painted a different picture. Lopez, for her part, has remained relatively tight-lipped about the reasons behind their split, but insiders have suggested that the nightclub incident and the subsequent fallout were major factors.
All right, so L.A. Reid gave him $1 million to put out an album, and the album never came out.
Fast forward to today, and the shadow of that infamous night still looms large, with Diddy now facing a slew of allegations, including claims of misconduct and exploitation. People are revisiting his past relationships and questioning the role those around him may have played. Jennifer Lopez's name has inevitably come up, especially given her proximity to Diddy during some of his most controversial moments. While Lopez has managed to maintain a relatively untarnished public image, these recent revelations have sparked renewed scrutiny.
You always have other people paying other people for things that people need them to pay for. That was just one.
Adding fuel to the fire are rumors that Lopez may have been involved in other incidents tied to Diddy's alleged behavior. For example, some reports suggest that she was present at parties where questionable activities took place but chose to stay silent. Others have pointed to her continued association with Diddy even after their breakup, noting that the two have reunited on several occasions over the years. Most notably, they appeared together during a virtual dance-off on Instagram Live in 2020, sparking criticism from fans who questioned why Lopez would associate with someone with such a controversial past. The resurfacing of these incidents has also led to speculation about Lopez's current personal life, particularly her recent split from Ben Affleck. Some insiders have suggested that Affleck became aware of Lopez's alleged involvement in Diddy's past controversies, leading to tension in their relationship. While neither Lopez nor Affleck has publicly addressed these rumors, the timing of their separation has raised questions about whether Diddy's legal troubles played a role.
Wait a minute, say that again. Say that again, back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of.
At the heart of this controversy is the question of accountability. If Lopez did indeed play a part in covering up Diddy's actions, what does that say about her character? And if she was a victim of manipulation or coercion, why hasn't she come forward to share her side of the story? These are the questions that many are now asking as they try to make sense of the complex web of relationships and events surrounding Diddy's rise and fall.
It sounds like there was probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. Is that what is being talked about?
Yes, this was actually in his Atlanta home, at a home he had in Atlanta at one point. And it does seem that the person isn't like looking into the video, so to me, doesn't seem like that person knows they're being videotaped. It doesn't seem like they're active participant in the videotaping.
As more details come to light, one thing is clear. The story of Jennifer Lopez and Sean Diddy Combs is far from over. Their relationship, once celebrated as a symbol of glamour and success, has become a cautionary tale about the dark side of fame and power. And as the revelations continue to unfold, the world will be watching to see how Lopez navigates the fallout and whether she finally chooses to break her silence. As the dust refuses to settle on Jennifer Lopez's connection to Sean Diddy Combs' chaotic and controversial past, the ripple effects of their entangled history are making waves in ways no one could have predicted. The revelations about Diddy's alleged misconduct and the growing list of legal troubles have now pulled Lopez into the spotlight in ways that might not be so easy to brush off. And let's be real, the timing couldn't be worse. With her personal life already making headlines due to her rumored split from Ben Affleck, many are starting to wonder if her connection to Diddy is playing a bigger role in her current struggles than anyone initially thought.
We grew apart. We had a marriage that didn't work. This happens. There's somebody I love and respect, but to whom I shouldn't be married any longer.
Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's relationship had been the ultimate Hollywood love story, until it wasn't. After rekindling the romance nearly 2 decades after their first engagement fell apart, fans were rooting for their happily ever after. They became the ultimate symbol of second chances, with romantic gestures and dreamy red carpet appearances that made everyone believe in love again. But behind the scenes, rumors of tension had been simmering for months. According to insiders, the couple's relationship began unraveling earlier this year, with arguments escalating over Lopez's past and her alleged involvement in covering up some of Diddy's most questionable activities.
Ultimately, we tried because we had kids. And then we said, both of us felt like we don't want this to be the model that our kids see of marriage.
Now, here's where things get sticky. Sources close to the couple claim that Affleck started digging into Lopez's history when Diddy's legal troubles began dominating the headlines. And let's face it, those headlines have been impossible to ignore. From accusations of misconduct to chilling stories of exploitation, Diddy's fall from grace has been swift and brutal. As more details about his past were exposed, Affleck reportedly began questioning Lopez about her role in some of the events that allegedly took place during their relationship. And while Lopez has always maintained that she was unaware of Diddy's darker side, some are saying that Affleck wasn't convinced. One insider revealed that Affleck was particularly disturbed by the resurfaced allegations that Lopez may have lied under oath during the 1999 nightclub shooting trial. Ben is a man who values honesty and integrity, the source explained. He couldn't wrap his head around the idea that Jennifer might have been involved in something so serious and that she stayed silent about it all these years. The source also claimed that the couple's arguments became so intense that Affleck began spending more time away from their shared home, even retreating to a separate property to cool off.
A-Rod. And where I'm coming from are the kids. You know, I feel like the kids were just bonding with A-Rod's kids, and now those kids are out of their lives, their friends are out of their lives, and now it's Ben's kids that are in. I just feel like we got it.
But let's not forget that Diddy's controversies aren't just limited to the shooting incident. Over the years, disturbing stories have emerged about his infamous parties, which were reportedly anything but glamorous. These gatherings, often referred to as freak-offs by those who attended, have been the subject of whispers in the entertainment industry for years. According to multiple accounts, these events were wild, chaotic, and deeply troubling, with allegations of mistreatment and manipulation. And here's the thing, Jennifer Lopez was known to attend some of these parties during her time with Diddy. While there's no concrete evidence to suggest that she was directly involved in any wrongdoing, her presence at these events has raised questions about what she may have witnessed and why she chose to stay silent.
I can say about Jennifer Lopez is, if nothing, she's consistent. This is who Jennifer is. And I feel like she stands in the woman that's a hopeless romantic, that loves to share her love. I feel like this is who she is, and asking her to change is...
But love is also different the second time around, don't you think?
I would think, but not her.
This brings us to the broader culture of silence that has plagued the entertainment industry for decades. Many are now asking why so many people, including high-profile figures like Lopez, turned a blind eye to the alleged behavior taking place at these parties. Was it fear of retaliation, a desire to protect their careers, or was it simply easier to pretend not to see what was happening? Whatever the reason, the industry's collective silence allowed these activities to continue unchecked for far too long. And now, with the truth finally coming to light, those who stayed quiet are being called out for their complicity. One of the most shocking aspects of this entire saga is the sheer number of celebrities who were reportedly aware of Diddy's alleged behavior, but chose to keep their mouths shut. From musicians to actors to industry insiders, it seems like everyone had at least some idea of what was going on, yet no one spoke up. And while some might argue that it wasn't their responsibility to expose Diddy's actions, others believe that their silence makes them just as guilty. And Jennifer Lopez, as one of Diddy's closest companions during some of the most controversial moments of his life, is now facing the brunt of that criticism.
You know, it's still pretty early in the proceedings. I think it's only been about a month or a month and a half since he's been arraigned and held in detention. And so the investigations are always going to be a continuous and ongoing process. I'm sure at this point there's been an exchange of discovery. And not only that, but I think there's been a gag order placed on the attorneys with information that they can and cannot share.
But let's not get it twisted. Lopez isn't the only celebrity whose name has been dragged into this mess. Over the past few months, several high-profile figures have been linked to Diddy's alleged activities, either as witnesses or as participants. For example, rumors have swirled about other artists who were signed to Diddy's label and attended his infamous gatherings. Some have come forward to share their experiences, while others have remained tight-lipped, adding to the air of mystery and suspicion surrounding these events.
I always said, you know, that Diddy snitched on me, that he threw me under the bus, and that I was a sacrificial lamb. But, you know, that's 26 years ago.
26 years ago.
So people don't remember and I have moved on. So you asked why. This is more of a celebration than, you know, dancing on Diddy's grave or wanting to even connect myself.
Now, you might be wondering, why would someone like Jennifer Lopez, who has built her entire brand on being strong, independent, and empowering, stay silent about something so serious? The answer might lie in the nature of her relationship with Diddy. During their time together, Diddy was one of the most powerful figures in the music industry. His influence extended far beyond Bad Boy Records, and his connections opened doors that might have otherwise remained closed for Lopez. It's not hard to imagine that she felt indebted to him, or even afraid of what might happen if she spoke out. There's also the possibility that Lopez simply didn't know the full extent of what was happening. While that might seem unlikely given her proximity to Diddy, it's worth considering that she may have been kept in the dark about certain aspects of his life. After all, Diddy has always been a master of controlling the narrative, and it's possible that he went to great lengths to ensure that Lopez only saw what he wanted her to see. But even if that's the case, her continued association with him after their breakup raises questions about her judgment and her willingness to distance herself from someone with such a controversial reputation.
Think that he did those things? Well, I know what he did to my family. And so the potential is there. As I said, he was just such a master of PR that he is so loud that people never hear the victim.
Of course, the impact of these revelations goes far beyond Lopez's personal life. Her career, which has been built on a carefully crafted image of authenticity and relatability, could take a serious hit if these allegations gain traction. Fans who once admired her for her resilience and determination may start to see her in a different light, questioning whether she's as genuine as she appears to be. And in an industry where public perception is everything, that kind of doubt can be devastating. As for Diddy, his legal troubles are far from over. With new lawsuits and allegations emerging almost daily, it seems like the walls are finally closing in on him. And while he has continued to deny any wrongdoing, the sheer volume of claims against him is impossible to ignore. The question now is whether those who were once close to him, like Jennifer Lopez, will be held accountable for their roles, however small, in enabling his behavior.
And then if he does, this new, quote, robust bail package, you can avoid and evade. And he is very connected with people that can help him avoid and evade. I'm not saying he will, but I would be surprised if the court grants him a bond. When the federal government wants you detained, you are normally detained, and here it was a very far-reaching situation that he was involved in.
It's also worth noting that the fallout from this scandal could have a ripple effect on the entire entertainment industry. As more victims come forward and more details are uncovered, we could see a shift in how these kinds of allegations are handled. The days of sweeping things under the rug and protecting powerful figures at all costs might finally be coming to an end. And while that's a step in the right direction, it also means that those who were complicit in the past will have to answer for their actions. So, what's next for Jennifer Lopez? If the rumors are true and she is being investigated for her potential involvement in Diddy's past activities, she could be facing serious legal and professional consequences. Even if she's cleared of any wrongdoing, the damage to her reputation might be difficult to repair. And with her personal life already in turmoil, it's hard to imagine how she'll navigate the storm without it leaving a lasting mark.
The truth is probably, you know, we all try to put this.
He told me about all his ex-girlfriends and everything. That's what I mean, you know. And
let's dial that down. Yeah. So anyways, you know, when you put out like a kind of a representative, it's like Chris Rock says when you're trying to meet. So it's like the two representatives.
He wasn't trying to rap
really
to me. That's
you know, and
at the end of the day, the story of Jennifer Lopez and Sean Diddy Combs is a cautionary tale about the dangers of power, influence, and silence. It's a reminder that the truth always has a way of coming out, no matter how deeply it's buried. And as more details continue to emerge, one thing is clear: this is a chapter of Lopez's life that she won't be able to close anytime soon. So, what do you think? Could Jennifer Lopez's silence about Diddy's alleged crimes be a sign of deeper involvement, or was she merely a victim of his influence? And how might these revelations impact her career and personal life moving forward? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more celebrity news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.